Continues to build across the Upper Peninsula as a longtime hockey rivalry continues this weekend. This morning, Ashley Kirkland is at Michigan Tech as they prepare to do battle with NMU on Saturday night. Ashley.
Well, Vicki, the Huskies have had a pretty good season this year. They started and they got their first #1 ranking in 2014, and they also started with their first 10 games as victory, so they've been off to a great start. Now they sit 15-5, and they continue to plow through opponents across the country. Next up on their hit list, their neighbors, their UP neighbors, Northern Michigan University, of course, this weekend. Now, one game is going to be at NMU on Friday, and then they'll head up here to Houghton on Saturday for the final game of that series. So we'll be back to talk to the assistant coach about what they've got planned to prepare the team for NMU and for this big game, which is a big rivalry for both communities, a friendly rivalry I might add, but it's going to be exciting. So we're going to talk to the guys about that coming up. Vicki, Ashley Kirkland reporting live.
To learn more about the Husky strategy. Ashley?
Good morning, Vicki. I'm inside the John McInnes Ice Arena inside the SDC building, and they've seen many of battles between NMU and Tech in hockey in this building. And right now I'm here with assistant coach Joe Shawhan. Joe, thanks so much for being here this morning.
Morning, Ashley.
Now, you guys have come off of a series at Wisconsin, and it was a split series. You had a loss to end that series. How do you boost your players' confidence going into a game like this?
Well, the players played well. Really, you know, the focus, my focus, and I think our focus is primarily on our quality of play. And our quality of play was good. We generated offense. We just didn't score. Very similar to the Michigan game at the GLI. So when the team's playing well, you know, you try to grunt out one goal around the net there. That would have been the difference in that hockey game against Wisconsin. But the goaltender played well, and we're getting everybody's A game. Teams aren't taking us lightly when we come in, and they're ready to play. And we had a big win on Friday, an 8-1 win. Wisconsin has a lot of pride, well-coached team, and they rebounded with a better defensive effort Saturday. But we thought we played well in the game, and I think the players were up. We practiced well this week, so it was fine. I think the players will be ready to go.
Yeah. Now, Joe, this is a big rivalry between the two communities. Now, you actually used to work at NMU as the assistant coach there. How do you see this rivalry now that you're on the other side?
Well, I think I don't feel it as much as most people do because I still have a lot of affection towards Northern Michigan. You know, I love the staff, I love the players, I love the school, I love the city. So, but there is a rivalry. There's no question about it. It's circled on the calendar when you see the schedule come out. It's a big game. It's great that the schools were brought back together in the same conference a year ago when the WCHA reformed. The teams should be playing each other with points on the line. They're exciting games all the time. Some of the best attendance, I know from the northern perspective, comes when Tech comes to town, and the same thing here. It's always a big draw. There's a lot of fans traveling back and forth, so it's a good matchup, and one that should take place every year.
So are you going to be giving any insider secrets to your team there?
There are no secrets, really. I mean, there'll be no surprises, but whether I was here transferred over or not, there wouldn't be any surprises. There's so much video, and we know each other so well, there'll be no surprises.
Yeah, now one surprise is that this will be a very physical match. The two teams are great teams. How are you going to keep your guys out of the penalty box?
Well, I mean, things happen. You know, we'll do the best we can. Emotions get high. It is a highly competitive game. Northern Michigan's a competitive team that plays their best hockey in the second half of the year. That's a tribute to their coaching staff. Walt always does a great job, builds a hockey team, and they're always tough at the end. We're both competing for home ice. We're competing for a shot at the national tournament. So it'll be, you know, there'll be a lot of excitement there for sure, and we'll do the best we can, and I'm sure Northern will too, to try to keep the play between the whistles, but you never know what'll happen.
Yeah, clawing and scratching. All right, thank you, Joe. We'll be back here, Vicki, in this beautiful ice arena. Is absolutely stunning in here. We'll be back with Joe. The players, they had to rest. They got to rest for the big game, so we'll come back, talk to him more about the big game.
Live from Houghton with more on how Michigan Tech plans to hit the ice this weekend. We have Ashley. How's it going?
Good morning. Good morning, Sam. You can watch the face-off at 7:37 on TV6. It's going to be this Saturday on Michigan Tech's ice, and I'm back here with Joe Shawhan, assistant coach. Now, Joe, you guys have had a great year so far. You've been named #1 for the first time ever, and you've had a great start. Are there high hopes for a Frozen Four title?
There's certainly hopes. I think we have a team that's capable of it. The national tournament is kind of interesting in hockey in that once you get in, 16 teams make it, and it's really four 4 wins. So you play a regional site game, you play 2 games there, and if you can win those, then you're onto the Frozen Four. So we think we have what it takes to get there if we can get fortunate enough to get in the tournament. We think we have the goaltending that can steal us some hockey games. We think we have the defense that can keep us in hockey games. So once you get there, it happens quick, and we feel that we can compete for it, as do probably another 30 teams in the country right now.
You've got some great seniors. What have you guys done differently this year?
Well, it's my first year here, so I don't know. I just know it's been I've been a beneficiary being here of a lot of hard work that went in the last few years to build this program. Since the time Mel Pearson's been hired, it's been on an incline. It's grown every year. Billy McCult has done a great job, as Damon Witten, who's now not here, have done a great job in recruiting top-end players. We're playing up-tempo games, so I don't know what's different this year other than just maybe the fact that some of the younger kids that they've worked with over the years have developed into being players now that are big-time college players.
Yeah, and we know Tech has a historied program and the birthplace of hockey just right up the road. Do you kind of look at Northern as the little brother?
No, I can't give you that sound bite. If I did that, it'd be all over that Northern locker room. No. Northern's a great hockey team. They have outstanding goaltending, as good as any in the country. Matthias Dahlstrom keeps him in every game. He's been injured the last couple of weeks. We fully anticipate he'll be back. Their defense is veteran, big, mobile, strong, and they have some really good young forwards there. So they're a good team. They're battling for, I mean, a weekend sweep for Northern puts them right on our heels. So it's going to be a good weekend of hockey. We're two really good hockey teams trying to earn home ice and get themselves a chance to seed well for the playoffs.
Yeah. Now, I mentioned some of the big-time seniors that you guys have. Tanner Kira, who are you looking for some big plays out of this game, these 2 games?
You know what? We have a lot of balanced depth. We actually have 4 lines that contribute. They all contribute. We have good point totals across the board. Contrary to Northern, we're more of a team that creates our scoring from our forwards. Northern's a team that generates a lot of theirs from their defensemen. So we have a lot of guys. We need to get good goaltending, and Jamie Phillips is very good. He should give us that. He's been consistent throughout the year. You know, we obviously have the seniors of Tanner Carroll and Blake Pietila, David Johnstone, who are high contributors. Alex Paton's a offensively dynamic player. His brother just won a gold medal with the with the Canadian World Junior team. He's exciting, but we have a lot of guys that can get it going pretty good.
Yeah. And lastly, do you see any great players that come back to these games? You guys have a lot of people that went on to do great things. Do you see great players that come back and watch these rivalries?
Well, I know they watch them. The ones that are playing pro hockey and things like that, they watch it from afar. There's a lot of tweeting and stuff that goes on. You know, don't lose this one. This is the one you got to win. Things like that. So, and there are a number of professional players in the area. Randy McKay as being one. I know Mark Morosti's around. There's a lot that come back and they're really supportive of our program. So, and as does Northern, they have a lot of guys in the area as well.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Joe, and have a great weekend. Make sure to catch the game. You can watch it live at Northern or Tech, or you can watch it on TV6. 7:37 is kickoff for Saturday, and 7:07, is the puck drop. And make sure to stick around for more of your TV6 morning news.